Let's talk Iran. Let's talk Iran. Let's talk the bombing. So first things first, it does not look like it was an effective bombing at Ferdow, which is the main enrichment site for Iran. Looks like it was a failure. The IAEA stated that there's no nuclear contamination in the ground, so it's not likely that it actually struck the enrichment facility. Also, it kind of giving credence to that. Iran is stating that they moved everything a while ago. Is what they said. Which you're going to talk about bombing this site for, you know, I mean, like, it doesn't take a genius. They knew the bombing was coming. So, and they've known if Trump was coming in office, that's probably what was going to happen. Um, at any rate, it wasn't effective. It's pissed off everyone in the region, and a lot of other countries are pissed. We have now, Iran is almost certainly going to amp up funding of these groups. Um, And we're in a precarious position. A couple of things. Are we going to be bombed? Probably not. I would find that really difficult to believe. We're not going to go to war boots on the ground. If we did, it would be a cataclysmic disaster. I think that would be really stupid for even Trump. So I don't think we have to worry about that stuff. But also, interestingly enough, Trump, I guess, activated sleeper cells in the United States. I'm not really sure what to
Mm-hmm.
take because they're saying, well, there's Iranian sleeper cells in the United States. This is what's coming out on Mega Media. Doesn't that mean he just activated sleeper cells in the United States?
No, because they're asleep, like Sleepy Joe.
Isn't that like, wouldn't that be a thing?
Yeah, I mean,
That'd be the logical
logically
deduction.
speaking, right.
He activated sleeper cells because suddenly they're concerned now. There's activated sleeper cells.
Well, he's deporting them.
Yeah. So, at any rate, internationally, this is going to cause a lot of strife. The oil market's going to be messed up. They're now rerouting ships away from Yemen, and they're going to have to go. It's actually, this is interesting because it helps out China a lot because China has a major port on the south of the Horn of Africa. So interestingly enough, moving stuff away from the Suez Canal only goes to benefit them. Um, yeah, so
Yeah, they're
that's kind of
blocking
what we
U.S.
have
ships from
going
the
on.
Red Sea right now,
Yeah.
threatening to bomb anyone that comes through there.
Yep. So there's issues with that.
We during C-19 we saw, remember that tanker
Yeah, I got stuck.
beached
The one that was
itself,
stuck.
Mm-hmm.
and how that ripple effect of all the stuff that was ruined that was on that tanker, and how it affected worldwide affected the supply
Mm-hmm.
chain issues. Can you imagine that happening again, but like on purpose? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
would be wild.
Yeah. I mean, that's a major port. What is it? 15% of global trade goes through that canal. 15%. So
Yeah.
it's major. Also, Iran produces 4.5% of all oil globally. So who knows what's going to happen there? Uh, yeah, this is a situation that can evolve into global conflict. Now, do I think that this is going to be the start of World War III? Probably not. Um, I mean, you never know what sparks it off. It's always stupid stuff that sparks off major wars. Always is. It's usually bubbling tension. I don't know that we're there yet. Um, because like I don't think it's going to be World War III. I do think, however, that there's going to be a lot more strife in the Middle East than there otherwise would have been. And the concern for me is that Iran already knows that these things are effective, right? Like funding the Houthis to disrupt shipping lanes, funding Hezbollah, Hamas, whoever else, what are the other groups? They know it's effective. My fear is that they start funding them a lot more and in different ways and get creative with it, and then they learn some new, completely fucked up way. Sorry for the language, but completely messed up way to create mayhem. Because this is usually what happens. Is, you know, the instance with Russia, right, where they what was that project or the military drill in Texas that they got everybody to believe in the governor to respond to and send the National Guard to? That was a troll. They were just like, we're going to put this out, and they were shocked that it worked. Where they just put out disinformation and Americans ate it up, right? In the same way, like, I'm very concerned that Iran is going to find some new messed up way to fund one of these groups, and they're going to cause significant disruption to something. I hope that that's not the case, but regardless of whether or not that happens, there is going to be a significant amount of strife going on in the area with Houthis, with Iranian proxy groups, and expect them to get funded more. So at least the minimum to that. It's going to disrupt shipping lanes. Iran is going to have to make a scene. There's no doubt about this. But ultimately, I don't think it'll result in another war. One, the United States government is stupid, but going back for another time, I don't think anybody's that dumb. Going back to the Middle East, terrible idea. Terrible. We'd basically just be supporting a country of 90 million people. And, you know, we know how that goes. So, Russia is too preoccupied with Ukraine. China is, you know, I think they're pretty friendly with Iran. But they have their own wants in the South China Sea that they're not going to get distracted by. So, and also, you know, China does rely on those shipping lanes ultimately, even though it's not, you know, unadvantageous.
Hang on.
So, anyway, that's what's going on. I don't think it's going to result in World War III. Sorry. I don't think it's going to result in World War III, but we'll just sort of have to see how it evolves and see what happens. Expect there to be a lot of different attacks in various different ways, and yeah.